Okay, so basically, we got a little bit of SRT news today. So it apparently Jeep has finally decided to stop fucking around, and they're gonna put the Hellcat hood on the Jeep Trackhawk like they should have done in the first place. So I got a couple of people tagged me in the story, and it's on Car and Driver. And the story basically shows that Jeep has a Trackhawk with a hood that, basically it's the Hellcat hood, and it's being tested because, before they can actually, produce and release those things, they actually have to test them, which is part of the reason why, like, some people, like I'll never understand the mentality of these people who, tune their cars. I'll never understand that mentality. It's like, listen, you can do whatever you want with your money, but me personally, I'm not into trying to engineer shit, especially when, it could possibly put somebody's life in danger. Like, a lot of people have made their own hoods. They've made demon hoods for their Jeep SRTs. They've made Hellcat hoods for their Jeep SRTs. Usually it's like carbon fiber, or they get like those polyurethane vinyls, the mixtures, the one, usually they're not alloyed metal. But the thing about it is, I would never want to buy one of those things and add it onto my car for a couple of very simple reasons. Number one, it definitely voids your warranty if anything happens. If that hood gets pulled up by the wind currents and it smacks into your freaking windshield, you already know that your insurance company is going to say something about that, and it might not be to your liking. They might say, well, wait a minute, this is your fault. You put this thing on your car. This was not tested. This was not approved. Because a lot of people, they put stuff on their cars that is not legal. Lowering kits are not legal in some states. Cold air intakes are not legal. Straight pipes are not legal. A lot of these emissions, like people taking off their catalytic converters, that shit, you're talking about violating like federal law at that point. So the thing, my problem is, a lot of people, they modify these cars and everything, and they just do it and they think it looks cute and cool. That's a Limited X right there. It's sad this guy doesn't have cooled seats, but he's got a Limited X. So anyway, people modify their cars, and then when something goes wrong, they expect insurance to just pay for it. And a lot of times these insurance companies do their due diligence, and they do enough investigation to say, nah, we're not paying for that shit because you put something on that car that's not supposed to be there. If you get insurance from like Geico or something, one of the questions they ask is like, have you modified this car to put out like 30% more horsepower or 15% more horsepower? And people who think, yeah, I can just lie about it, when they get into an accident and they realize that all that equipment, those superchargers, those turbochargers, that shit's not covered by insurance, because insurance looks at the build of the car and they're like, wait a minute, this fucking car, this piece of shit Nissan Sentra, this thing's not supposed to have a fucking supercharger in it. Like, I'm a Geico underwriter, and I'm looking at you get in a car accident because you tried to speed up your pathetic little fucking Honda Accord, and you didn't realize that you needed bigger brakes. Like, you needed Brembo brakes, but you couldn't put that on there because you're cheap ass. And then I'm the Geico insurance underwriter, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait, hold on. Since when the fuck does a Honda Accord have a twin turbo 1,000 horsepower engine? And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not paying for this shit. We're not giving this bastard no checks. And that's the bottom line. You can't, if you void your warranty, you're setting yourself up. I knew from the very beginning when I went to that New York International Auto Show and I made that video, and the reason why it's freezing is because right now I'm near. Holy shit, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. The connections in certain parts of the Belt Parkway, the connection gets really bad. But anyway, because I could have done a 4K video about this, but that means I would have had to wait till later. But here's my thing: anybody who bought a Jeep Trackhawk, or anybody who recently got one and they only paid like $80,000, okay, that's not too bad. But in my opinion, if you paid $100,000 or $105,000 for a Jeep Trackhawk, in my opinion, you wasted your money. Because the thing about it is, they absolutely did not do enough with the Jeep Trackhawk. And I said it from the very beginning. And I knew that they were going to eventually retool that car, and I knew they were going to put that Hellcat hood on there. Part of the reason why I knew it was because that Hellcat hood is like a corporate style hood. And when I say a corporate style hood, I mean that they want all of their front bumpers to look the same exact way. So all of the Dodge cars, they have a design in the front, or they have a design on the hood, or they have a tail design that's corporate. Just like, you know, it says Dodge and it's got taillights and stuff that look like Dodge taillights. It's like they want a corporate look on their vehicles. Now, what kills me is all of these stupid morons and trolls like Brian Orton and Scott Moberly. Yeah, that's right, I'm talking about you because I can and there's nothing you can do about it. But all these fucking trolls who were like pissed off at me, oh yeah, well you shouldn't be insulted. Fuck you. I'll say anything I goddamn feel like saying. And I said it from the very beginning. They should have had that Hellcat hood on there, or they should not have released it. And this is the second time that Jeep's pulled that bullshit. Just like right now, I'm driving in a Jeep with a came out in 2014, and they continued this model 2014, 2015, 2016. They changed it for 17 and 18, right? The 2012s and 2013 shouldn't even exist. There is no reason why a Jeep SRT should exist that doesn't have the 8-speed auto. So when they put out the 2012 and 2013, if you ever get a chance to see a 2012 or 2013, it's the sorriest shit that I've seen. Uh-oh, somebody wrecked their Corvette. Look at that. Look at that Corvette over there on that bed. It's all wrecked. What happened, Corvette? What happened? You couldn't handle the power? So I knew that the 2012, 2013, what I realized was Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, they're willing to put out a model for just 2 years that they know is going to be upgraded very, very soon. So what did they do? They put out the 2012, 2013, then they got rid of it for the 2014, 15, 16, and then the 17 and 18 and 19 look basically about the same, and the Trackhawk is included with the 2018s, right? So all of them have that new front bumper with the smaller inlets and everything. So knowing that they were going to do that, I was like, wait a minute. Why the fuck would you buy one of these things now when you know it's not a complete design? You know it's supposed to have the Hellcat hood. But all these little fucking trolls, what do? They're like, yeah, well, you shouldn't talk bad about it. You shouldn't say nothing. I'll say whatever the fuck I want, and there's nothing you could do about it. Brian Orton and Scott Moberly, I say whatever I want. All the time, anytime, 24/7. Anything I fucking want to say. So, that said, they're finally putting the Hellcat hood on the goddamn thing. All they had to do was listen to me in the very beginning. I was like, how are you producing this thing? And I'm going to throw on my adaptive cruise control. Hopefully I don't hit this piece of shit Insight. So anyway, hello JMC Rides, how you doing? So, anyway, all I'm saying is they should have done this from the very beginning. Why would you put out a car that's incomplete? All of these people who've rushed out there and bought these carbon fiber hoods and stuff for those cars, it's like, good luck to you, because if you try speeding in those cars and those windshields pop up and smack you in your windshield, and I've seen that shit happen. Those windshields get broken or you get impaled or some shit by a carbon fiber hood, that's when you'll understand. I think when you're dying, the last words that'll go through your mind was, wow, Big Truck was right. I should not have bought this fucking carbon fiber hood. And I don't want nothing on my car that's not OEM. And you'd be like, oh yeah, well that's stupid because the OEM stuff is just not as cool. Well, guess what? The OEM stuff is tested and warranted and approved. And I can trust it as long as I don't try modifying this thing. Like, I don't want to be one of these people who rolls over in a fucking Jeep and they get their head crushed. I don't want to be one of these people who gets into an accident because they have big fucking wheels on their car and them shits like collapse and the car speeds into a fucking ravine. That's not what I want. So my thing is, it's about goddamn time. And guess what? The new Trackhawk is not going to be 707 horsepower. The new Trackhawk is going to have the power of the REDEYE, and it's going to be 700 and what is that? What is that magic number? I think it's 797. So you're going to have the power of the REDEYE in the Trackhawk. Hopefully these assholes also listened to me when I said to take off those goddamn ridiculous big sound mufflers, so this way we could get some real sound out of these things. Because even this Jeep, I mean, it was always quiet. Yeah, I could have put a Corsa exhaust or some shit on there, but I always knew I wasn't going to keep this car forever. I'm not going to keep this car forever. So, bottom line is this. It's like they're redesigning the thing right now. If they're redesigning it right now, you can bet that you're going to see them very soon. Because first of all, the Dodge Charger wide-body Hellcat is going to go into production in November. So in November, they're going to start actually producing them, and then they'll have them on the streets definitely by January. You'll see them probably like the end of December, January, because it takes them some time to ship them. So the wide-body Charger Hellcat is going to be produced in November. And then, like, as far as I know, they haven't even released the price on it. You can't even order that car yet. But those things are going to be produced in November, and you'll see them probably by like January or February. The Jeep Trackhawk redesign, you probably won't see any of those on the road for about a year. It's going to take some time because if that hood is being tested right now and the testing's not finished, it's going to take them a little bit of time to do the testing, and it's going to take them a little bit of time to do the production and the rollout. It's not just going to be the hood that they upgrade. It's also going to be some of the instruments inside. It's going to also be, on top of that, it's going to be like the REDEYE. It's going to have REDEYE power in it. Now, I will say also this. I'm disappointed that we have not seen what the replacement Jeep Grand Cherokee absolutely looks like yet. So they haven't said anything about that. And you're probably not going to find out what the new Jeep Grand Cherokee design past the WK. This is a WK2. We're not going to find out what the new Jeep looks like. And we also don't know whether or not the new Jeep Grand Cherokee replacement is going to have the Trackhawk power and those engines, because right now these liberals are going crazy trying to stop President Trump from rolling back these emissions. Because here's the bottom line. I mean, California, the air used to be brown as soup, and you used to be asthmatic before you were even 3. So the thing about it is, when they put all those emission standards and all that shit there, it's because California is a very hot place, and heat from the sun releases that NO2 gas from the emissions that come from these cars. And that's part of the reasons why, you know, California has always led in emissions reductions, because they had to. Otherwise, all the people would choke to death. But my thing is, it's like, I really would like to see what the replacement Jeep Grand Cherokee looks like, because these WK2s are old. And then there's so many of them on the road. I mean, these things sell like roaches, for God's sakes. But these things are old. This is an old design. It's a great design. It's an award-winning design. It's a very, very spacious car. The thing is huge. I love it. Absolutely. This is my favorite driver because it's huge. It's comfortable. I look at this. I've got adaptive cruise control on. Even the Hellcats don't have adaptive cruise control. All I got to do is set that shit, and the fucking car speeds up and slows itself down. Like, I can get behind this stupid WRX, and I can just sit here. I don't have to use my foot. Look, I don't even have to use my foot. My foot is just chilling. I can just get behind there, and I can just coast in this shit, horrible traffic. And everybody else, like that SRX, they don't have adaptive cruise control. They got to keep their foot on there, and they got to pay attention to the road. Me, I'm able to do other things. I'm able to concentrate on other things. It's fabulous. I got the heated, cooled seats. Look at this. I got the cooled seats on. Most of these people ain't got cooled seats in their car. They ain't got heat. Well, they got heated seats because most of these cars are standard, but they don't have cooled seats under their ass. I know the SRX doesn't have it, and I know most of these new cars, they don't have that shit. You know, they make you pay like fucking $100,000 just to get cooled seats. So my thing is, bottom line is this. It's like, I really like the WK2, and I'm waiting for them to replace it. I'd love to see how they're going to replace it. Look at that, Emirates. Look at that shit. Look at that. That's the Emirates A380 right there. Them people coming in from Dubai. Look at that shit. They coming in from Dubai, landing at JFK. Look at that shit. Emirates A380 800. I love that plane. I absolutely love that plane. Business class, bitches. So I got to turn back on my adaptive cruise control because I let this WRX get away from me. Okay, so in fact, let me set that to about 50, and let's just coast. We're just going to coast through this horrible New York traffic. This guy doesn't have it, so he can't coast. He's got this stupid Ford Explorer. I don't want that. He can't coast. This guy right here with this Kia, he ain't got it. He can't coast. I can coast. Look at that. 50 miles an hour. I don't even got to use my feet. Look at that shit. The car slows itself down. All they got to do is make it more like the Tesla where the shit drive itself. And you're going to catch me in this motherfucker sleep on my way to work. On my way to the big city. But, yeah. Have I rode in an F-16? I can't fit in an F-16. An F-16, like, if you're any taller than 6 foot tall and you're any heavier than 200 pounds, you're not getting in that thing. That thing is tiny. Of course I haven't rode in a damn F-16. Where do you get these questions? So anyway, so basically that's it. Like, when I get home, I'm going to get a chance to look closer at the new details, because now we've got the spy photos finally coming in of a proper Jeep Trackhawk. I'll be able to put that on my on as a thumbnail. Hopefully Car and Driver doesn't fuck with me. I can put that shit on the thumbnail. But that's the thing. It's like here I am. I'm just coasting, man. It's like the only thing I need is for the car to steer itself, and I'm good. But I'm in here. It's nice and cool in here. Got the heated, cooled seats all over my ass, just cooling my ass. Says, do you miss your Chrysler 300? The answer is absolutely yes. I do miss my Chrysler 300. I absolutely do. That car was fabulous. That car had heated, cooled seats, heated, cooled cup holders, adaptive cruise control. That Chrysler 300 had so much shit in it that it was like having a loaded E-Class Benz for $58,000. And that car had more stuff than an E-Class Benz had in it. The only thing it didn't have was a Benz ID on it. And, you know, I don't really badge whore that hard. So it didn't really matter to me that it said Chrysler on it. In fact, I really liked the fact that it did. I thought it was cool. But I traded the Chrysler 300 for the Hellcat. So that's the reason why I traded it in. But I don't know what I want to buy next, because the thing about it is that Trackhawk looks, but if they're going to come out with a new Trackhawk that costs, again, $100,000+, who want to pay $100,000 for those things? I mean, if you've noticed, a lot of the people who bought Trackhawks, they've kept those things for less than 3,000 miles, and then they trade them back in. Nobody really wants to have to do a $4,000 or $3,000 brake job, and that's exactly what you're looking at. Because even with this car, every 2 years, I have to get a full set of tires. That's not really a big deal, but you're still talking that's $1,000 for a full set of tires every 2 years. And then every 3,000 or 4,000, possibly 5,000 miles, you're looking at a new brake job. So you're looking at new pads, depending upon how you drive. So if you live in, you know, I live in the city, so I'm braking all the time. But who knows? We'll see what happens. But, you know, my thing is, there's another. I think that's another A380. I think this is another A380 coming in right here. Look at that beautiful plane. Look at that beautiful plane. I think that's Emirates right there. Come on, let's see it. Let's see it. Is that Emirates? Oh, shit. Look at that thing. Look at that big, beautiful plane. It's so hard to zoom in on this fucking thing. Look at that thing. Jesus Christ. Look at that big plane. That's the A380. Look at that shit. Fresh from... Oh, wait. They're not from Dubai. That's somebody else with the bird. I think that's Singapore. That's Singapore Airlines. Yeah, that's Singapore. I'm going to Singapore probably next year, in fact. Singapore Airlines. That's Singapore Airlines A380-800. Beautiful. So, yeah, that's basically what I, wanted to focus on. So everybody was tagging me. They're like, hey, guess what? The Trackhawk's finally getting a Hellcat hood. Well, if you ask those morons, Brian Orton and Scott Moberly, who have the Facebook forums about the Jeep Trackhawk, they would tell you that it doesn't need the Hellcat hood. What happened to all of those fucking trolls who kept saying that bullshit? Oh, yeah, well, the Trackhawk looks like a sleeper because it doesn't have the Hellcat hood. It looks like a sleeper. I like my cars that look like a sleeper. You're full of fucking bullshit. You're liars. You're dishonest to yourself. It doesn't stand out in traffic, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing it doesn't stand out in traffic because it looks like a sleeper. A sleeper is good, so this way nobody can know that it's fast until I make it go fast. It's like you're full of fucking bullshit. You're liars. That's what you are. You're liars. You're dishonest with yourself. That thing was always supposed to have that fucking Hellcat hood, and they finally fucking put it on. It's like, I hate dealing with liars, you morons. Morons and liars. I hate them. Oh, shit. Somebody's popping and snap crackling back here. Who's that? Somebody's popping and snap crackling. That must be one of these Honda Civics or something. They got the elephant fart can muffler on them. Yeah, but anyway, so I'm very happy. The question is, what's going to happen to these guys who have the old Jeep Trackhawk? Now that they got a Jeep Trackhawk coming out, and that shit's going to have 797 horsepower. What's going to happen to all the old ones? That's my question. I knew damn well buying that thing was a mistake. I knew it was a mistake. After I saw what Chrysler did with that 12 2013 model, I knew buying that Jeep Trackhawk was a mistake. Because I was like, wait a minute, there's nothing new in here. You mean to tell me you trying to sell this fucking thing based on a supercharger, you're not going to put nothing new in it? Please. It's like, listen, they can con the rest of you, but it's like, I'm a little bit more conservative with my money. And it's like that wide-body Charger Hellcat. Yeah, I really like that, and I would probably consider leasing one of those maybe 2 or 3 years down the road. The thing about it is it's still an LX platform model. Where's the new Charger? Where's the new Charger? I want a new Charger. I want something that's all new. I've had like 2 LX cars at this point. No, actually, I've had 4 LX cars at this point. I had 3 Chrysler 300s and I had 1 Dodge Charger. My thing is, where's the new one? Yeah, the Dodge Dart, when they built it, it was too small. They fucked up. They gave up, and now there's no more Dodge Dart. So my thing is, it's like, come on, man, you got to be smarter than that. Right now, Chrysler FCA, they haven't shown us anything new. They haven't shown anything to replace the Challenger and Charger yet. And the Trackhawk, all they're doing is really showing us the fact that they got a hood. I don't even think they wanted us to know. I think they got those spy photos because they've got people who are waiting around, waiting around Chrysler trying to get a scoop on a story, so that somebody like me can talk about it. Man, look at this traffic. This traffic sucks. Going back, the traffic's a nightmare. Going back towards the city, this shit sucks. But yeah, I'm so happy to see that. I'm like, yeah, thank you guys. You finally did what you're supposed to do in the first place. Now, my thing is, why would you build that car if it wasn't complete? Why would you do that? Like, why would you put us out in something that you knew was not complete? Not to mention, you knew that people were going to try to modify these cars. If you knew they were going to modify these cars, why would you put out a car that you knew that they were going to want to modify because they knew it didn't look right? I've passed like maybe 4 or 5 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All these goddamn things look alike. It's like nobody wants their car to look like everybody else's car. And that's another thing. The Durango Hellcat is coming sooner or later. We got a Durango Hellcat should be coming soon. Because if they've got the Durango out there, and then they also got the Jeep out there, and they can put the Jeep, the Trackhawk together, they can make a Durango with the Hellcat engine. It's about goddamn time. They should have had it already. Either that or they should have let us know it's coming. Because most people can't buy it because they can't afford the gas, but at least let us know. At least let us know what's coming. It's like, don't keep that shit a secret. So you're gonna have the Dodge Durango Hellcat and then the Jeep Hellcat. I'm not playing that Trackhawk game. I'm not saying Trackhawk because Trackhawk is a stupid name. It's a stupid name. All you had to do was call it Jeep Hellcat. Everybody would have understood right away. Oh, it's a Jeep and it's a Hellcat. Trackhawk, what the fuck is that? Do you know everybody kept on saying, yeah, I saw a Trackhawk today. It turned out they didn't see a Trackhawk. They saw a Trailhawk. Why the fuck would you do? Why would you make such a stupid name? That's so stupid. Birds fly. They don't fucking go around a goddamn track. Not to mention, there's no tracks around here. This is New York. Ain't no fucking tracks. It's just like all these losers, like this Audi right here. Look at this Audi. Let's catch that Audi. This Audi, people up there like, oh yeah, that RS5 can go around a track way better than you can. And I'm like, I don't care. There's no tracks over here. What is this? This is a 3.0T, nothing, A6. That looks boring. That looks boring. That looks really boring. I don't want that. I don't want that. Boring. Absolutely boring. Look at this guy. Yeah, this guy's right behind me with this boring Audi. I'm sorry about the connection because the thing about it is, look at him. He's trying to race her. Look at this slow-ass Audi. Get that slow-ass Audi out of here. Nobody wants to see that thing. Get that thing out of here. Nobody want that. Boring. Absolutely boring. But that's just what it is. I mean, when you're here, it's like all these posers with these BMWs and Mercedes and everything. That's why they can't afford the M badge on that shit until it's very, very used. And then when they buy a used one, their engines basically break down. So it's like I ain't buying none of that shit. I don't want none of that stuff. That fucking fake ass poser German engineering. Look at this guy with the Toyota Camry. He's getting aggressive and shit, trying to drive up on people. Who you think you is? Who you think you is trying to drive up on people? Look at this freaking Camrys. Got to deal with all this. Sonata doesn't know day. That's New York for you. Honda doesn't know what he wants to do. I would stay right up in his rearview mirror, so make him move. Move. It's traffic here. Yeah, I hope they hurry up and get this shit together so that they straighten out all these gaps in their product. Consider, I think they basically fucking killed Chrysler thanks to Sergio Macon. They basically killed Chrysler. Chrysler has like nothing. They have a Voyager and they got a Pacifica. They got 2 minivans and that's all they got. That's it. They've basically killed. No, it's not New York Wi-Fi. It's New York Cellular. But the problem is I'm making a transition between Long Island and New York City. If I was in the city, it would be a little bit better. But I'm not in the city. I've made the transition out to Long Island. But no, all I'm saying is they've basically destroyed Chrysler. Chrysler's got 2 cars, and they're both fucking minivans. They don't even have the... How do you not have the Chrysler 300? The Chrysler 300 revived interest in Chrysler. The Chrysler 300 SRT revived interest in Chrysler and Dodge, and now you just throw it away. Like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Who's the product specialist over there? Who? It's like, yeah, it's nice that you can make drag racing cars like the Demon and all that stuff, but the average person's not buying a car like that. In fact, the above average person's not buying a car like that. That car sells to like the top 1% of buyers. It's like cars like that are just not volume sellers. Like, what are y'all doing? But we'll see. We shall see. We'll see. Yeah, well, ripping on everything is easy because they keep giving me such shitty products to talk about. I mean, look at this thing. What is this? What is this right here? It says all-wheel drive FE. What is that? What does FE stand for? Female? What is this? Kia Sorento. Oh, that's boring. That's boring. I'm glad she doesn't go to sleep in that thing of boredom, just like those Tesla drivers. I mean, when you have no engine to listen to, that's what happens. You just go to sleep. Look at this. Look at this. The car stops and slows itself. Slows itself. I didn't even use my foot. Look at that. Slows itself. I'm just coasting. Look at that. I can just coast. Everybody else got to pay attention to traffic and shit. Me, I'm just coasting with my adaptive cruise control. How about that? See, that's what a car is supposed to have in it. And why doesn't the Hellcat have adaptive cruise control? Why? It's disgusting. Yeah, but all of you, anybody who's watching, who's a member of Jeep forums on Facebook, you tell Scott Mober and tell Brian Orton I told them that they're idiots and that FCA finally did what they should have done in the first place and put that Hellcat hood on the car. So yeah, you can block me out of the forum, but you can't stop me from talking about you. And God forbid I ever catch one of you losers at the New York International Auto Show. I'm gonna school you right then and there. I'm gonna show you some good old-fashioned New York learning. Look at that. That looks boring, too. What is that, a Honda CR-V? I'd rather die than have to drive that thing every day. I mean it. Some people think that's hyperbole. I would rather die than be forced to drive one of those things every day. Same goes for a Toyota. I would never. Toyota. No, hells no. I'd rather die. Look at this. This is a Lexus, old-ass Lexus. Old-ass Lexus. I don't want that shit. I want none of that shit. It's like, yeah, keep making cool cars so we can get real cool stuff. It's like, I don't want none of that junk. This old lady, she probably had that. She probably paid that Lexus off. Oh, yes, I owned my car. Yay. It's like, no, thank you. I don't want no damn Lexus. When I say that, it's not hyperbole. I would rather die than be forced to drive one of these shitty Japanese Sakano boxes every fucking day. I would just as soon put a bullet through my own head. I would rather die than be forced to drive a Toyota Camry or a Honda Accord or some shit like that. Hells no. That would be like cutting off my arm or something. It's like, I don't want that. No. It's like, if I ever lost an arm or a leg, let me bleed out. It's not worth staying here. If I'm life is too short to drive shit cars. The Kato box. I don't want none of that shit. Look at that. That's a Kato box. Look at that little Honda Civic. It's like they try to black them out and tint the windows and everything, but at the end of the day, it's still a Honda Civic. It's like, I don't want that. Hells no. Okay, we've got a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit, so that means you gotta be nice. It says your speed is 12. That's good. Yeah, you can't put no V8 in no damn Honda Civic. Hells no. And Europe is fucked. Like, those emissions requirements and regulations, man, Europe is dead. Europe is as good as dead. They're done. They're absolutely done. They're gonna have Lamborghinis with twin turbo V8s like the Urus. It's like, that's dead. That sucks. That just sucks. So anyway, I can't. I may, we have this ridiculous what is it called, reception. So if I want to do some more ranting, I'll do it later. But thanks for joining me. But I'll have more to say on this subject a little bit later.